Hi friends, welcome to WafaStudies YouTube channel. With this video, I am starting a new playlist for the Microsoft Fabric. I know I have one basic Microsoft Fabric playlist. I will keep that playlist too, but this playlist will target learning of the Microsoft Fabric in a different way. So I wanted to go module by module and I wanted to target like at the end of the day who goes through this playlist from basic to advanced level who can become a Fabric data analyst, right? So there is a new role called Fabric data analyst which was came after this Microsoft Fabric product. So there is a content available in Microsoft learn.microsoft.com. So I will be summarizing that content and going through this entire Fabric product to understand it from the basic to the advanced level. So this video is introduction to end-to-end analytics using the Microsoft Fabric. So think it of like an overview of Microsoft Fabric product, why it is, what we can do, blah blah blah. And in our upcoming videos, we will practically also try to implement small applications using it. So firstly, what is Microsoft Fabric, right? So Fabric is a end-to-end analytics platform that provides a single and integrated environment for the data professionals and also business to collaborate. So what that mean is, before Fabric, right? If you want to implement end-to-end analytics, that means taking the data from sources and then keeping it somewhere and using the transformations on top of it, loading it into the data warehouses, and then finally showing it in a Power BI report, right? So all the things needed lot of tools, lot of products. But now with the Fabric, it is a single platform which is integrated completely, and even data professionals who actually implement these data projects, also the business who uses these insights via Power BI report, everybody can come and collaborate on one place and do this end-to-end analytics using the Microsoft Fabric. Okay, so inside the Fabric, there are different workloads or experiences available. Few are listed here, or everything is listed here, in fact, sorry. So data engineering experience is there, or data integration, data warehouse, real-time intelligence, data science, and business intelligence. So what that mean is, as I said, right, so in the Microsoft Fabric, all the products are available, even for the keeping the data in some from source to one location, performing the transformations, keeping it into the data warehouse systems, showing it as a report. So all these things came together as a single product, right? So all these experiences are available inside the Microsoft Fabric service. So data engineering is nothing but like using a Spark and writing your notebooks for the data transformations. Data integration is nothing but like using data factory service. You know what is data factory service? If you don't know, watch my videos from my YouTube channel, or even in this playlist. When we move forward, we will come to that. So data integration means creating that pipelines to take the data from sources and keeping it into some destinations. Data warehousing is, of course, it's a SQL part. So where you keep you take the meaningful data out of your plenty of the sources and you dump into the data warehouse systems. So from there you actually do the reporting part, right? So data science means maybe if you want to create some artificial intelligence models, blah blah, by connecting these sources, that is possible. And business intelligence is nothing but like a reporting part. So you want to use your Power BI skills there to create a report. So all these things available as a single service in the Microsoft Fabric. Okay, so Fabric is a SaaS offering. It's like a software as a service. You don't need to install anything. It's completely cloud. You just need to have a browser to get started with it and start implementing your end-to-end analytics projects. Okay, and in the Fabric, the beauty is there is something called one lake. So whole data, whatever you manage, or whole the compute means maybe it may be Spark compute, be it maybe SQL compute, that will help you to analyze the data, right? So all these different types of the computes, everything is available on top of this one lake only. So all computes can access this one lake. So think it like a one lake is like a storage. Okay. So it's like a OneDrive, right? So in MS Office, in Microsoft Office, if you are using a SharePoint, if you are using a Excel, Word, PPT, whatever the product you are using in MS Office, everything was pre-wired into the OneDrive, right? So everything will automatically get stored in OneDrive, right? Same way, right? So whole your organization data will be available in one lake in the Microsoft Fabric, and all the compute and all the services which are there in the Microsoft Fabric, they can easily use this data from the one lake directly. Okay, so the below diagram shows how the one lake architecture will look like. Okay, so as I said, right, one lake, it facilitates the collaboration between the data teams and saves the time by eliminating to need by eliminating the need of moving and copying data between the different sources. Let's assume you have a data in a different locations. So ideally, you will have a need to move that data and copy that data into some location, then maybe performing some transformations and then loading it into the data warehouse systems and reporting part. So all these efforts are eliminated here because whole data sits at one place, which is in the one lake. Okay, and this one lake sits at the bottom of the Microsoft Fabric. All other experiences, data integration experiences, which is nothing but like a data factory, data engineering experience, which is nothing but like the Spark and writing the transformations part, data warehousing, the SQL part, data science, the model creation part for the predictions of the business intelligence part, that is Power BI, real-time intelligence, Kusto and everything, right? And the insights of the actions, the data activator. So whatever the services we have it, which generally involve in the data engineering projects. So all that services are sitting on top of this one lake inside the Microsoft Fabric service. Okay, so it's like a foundation to the entire architecture. Okay, so one lake is actually built on top of the ADLS, that is Azure Data Lake Storage Gen 2. So generally the ideal format which will get stored in one lake is a delta format. Okay, but you can store the data in any format including Parquet, CSV, JSON, and even delta format too. The data stored in the one lake is actually directly accessible by all the compute engines, be it maybe Spark, SQL, so everything can directly access it. So no need to move the data from anywhere. Let's assume if you have a data outside of the Fabric, maybe you have somewhere else, maybe in some Gen 2 storage inside the Azure, not on the Fabric. Then also you can quickly access that data using something called shortcuts. So there is something called shortcuts. Using shortcuts, you can access that data. So we will see this practical implementation in our upcoming videos too. So that's what one lake architecture all about. Now, what is workspace? So there is something called workspace also in the Fabric. So workspace actually uses, it will contain the different items created across the different experiences. I said in the Fabric there are different experiences, right? Data factory, maybe in data engineering experience, business intelligence, that is Power BI experience. So different experience put together is one service, right? So you can create items for it, you can create instances for it, and where you keep it, you will keep in the workspace. So imagine like a workspace is like a logical container or a folder where you maybe if you create a report, it will be in the workspace. If you create a pipeline, it will be in a workspace. If you create a notebook, a Spark notebook that will help for the transformations, it will be in a workspace. So workspace is like a folder. So ideally, like for example, development environment, all the uh, all the pipelines and all the transformation logic, all the SQL databases, so all the reports, right? So maybe in dev workspace, and maybe for the production you will have a different workspace, right? So workspaces are like a logical containers or the folders. You can keep the Fabric items which created using these experiences or workloads. Now, security and governance, how it happens in a Fabric. So there is something called admin center in the Fabric, which comes under Microsoft administration. We will discuss this topic in our upcoming videos. So using the admin center, you can actually manage your a whole data and all your resources very well, and you can control the privileges and everything, right, in a very secured and governed way. Okay, so the big question here I am trying to answer is, yes, even though the data is at a single central location using the one leg, the data is always secured and governed well to serve for the various computes. Okay, so we will discuss this, how that happens, how we can give access to somebody, how we can revoke access to somebody. So all the details we will discuss when we discuss about Fabric administration. Okay, now how to enable this or how to use this Microsoft Fabric, right? So to use this Microsoft Fabric, actually one must enable it. Okay. So how to enable it? There is somebody who has these roles like Fabric admin or Power Platform admin or M365 admin. Somebody in your organization who has these roles, they can enable the Fabric for your organization. So any organization has to enable the Fabric at first place. Where they have to go to enable, it's basically within the Power BI. So when you go to the app.powerbi.com, at the top right corner you will see some settings icon. So from there you have to enable it. So if I go to the browser here, so let me quickly navigate to the browser and let me go to app.powerbi.com. Okay, so sorry, let me retype that. So when you navigate to app.powerbi.com, we all know that it opens the Power BI suite, right? Power BI product. So in the Power BI product, uh, that admin person has to go and enable it. So to enable it, they have to navigate to the settings at the top right corner. Let's wait for the screen to load here. I will quickly show you that. So one has to click the settings here, and once they click the settings here, they see something called admin portal. So from here they have to enable it. So this is how it will look like. The admin portal will look like this, okay, when you open it, and one has to enable it, and the person who enable is, he can enable for the entire organization or a specific group of people. So anything can be possible. And who can enable it? Only the Fabric admin or Power Platform admin or the Microsoft 365 admin. Only these people. So Fabric admin is nothing but like a Power BI admin basically. So only these people can enable the Fabric for your organization. Okay, so once you enable a Fabric for your organization, then now you can create the workspaces. And as I said, workspace is a folder. It's like a collaborative environment or a place where you can create various Fabric items from the different experiences. It may be like a lake house experience from the data engineering, or it may be warehouse experience item. It's like a SQL. It may be the report item. It is from the Power BI. So these various items you can create and keep in the workspace, and you can manage them. Okay, so let's create a workspace very quickly. So this is my Fabric. So you always get something called my workspace also by default, which you can use it. So you see there is a various items already available in my workspace. There is a pipeline item which comes from the data pipeline experience. There is a data warehouse sample DW which comes from the data warehouse experience, and there is a report to sample report, right? So these various items are already there in my workspace. So generally ideal case, people, if they want to explore for the learning purpose, they can do the stuff in the my workspace itself. It's like a special folder for you. But if you want to create a workspace, navigate to the workspaces there, and let me zoom this little bit. So navigate to the workspaces there and click my workspace. Sorry, navigate to the workspaces, and here you see that there is a create a new workspace. So click that new workspace, and here you can give the workspace name. So maybe I will give workspace name as maybe Mahir workspace. So I can enter some description for it. If I want to assign some domain for it, I can assign it. And when I go to the advanced settings, so I can actually select the license type and all. Okay, so license type and all, depending upon a license type, various features of the Fabric will be available you or disabled for you. Okay, so hit this apply button to create this workspace. So when you create a workspace, it's like you created a logical container. See, right now there is nothing, so no items are yet in this workspace. If you want to create a new item in it, so you need to hit this new item, and from here you can start creating it. So if your purpose is for visualizing data, these are the items you can create it. If your purpose is getting the data from somewhere, maybe pipeline or copy a job or the data flow, various items of these you can create it. If your purpose is for the storing the data, then you can create these items. So all these are different widgets available for you to create an item inside the Fabric workspace. So let's go back to our OneNote. So here in the workspace, actually you can manage or configure your workspace using the workspace settings. So workspace settings will help you to configure the license type and also to configure how your OneDrive access should be. Uh, if you want to have a connectors from the external resources like Gen2, or if you want to connect your Fabric with the version control system like Git, or all the Spark settings which you use for the data transformation in the notebooks. So all these various kind of things you can manage using the workspace settings, and these settings will be applicable for all the items in the workspace. So if you go to the browser, if I close this, I see there is workspace settings at the top. So using these settings, I can manage my workspace very well. So there is something called general, there is something called license info. From here I can change the license and everything, blah blah. And there is a Azure connections. If I want to connect my Fabric with a Gen2 storage outside in the Azure, so I can configure that here. A Git configuration, if I want to connect with a Git repositories, then I can use this menu to do that. And maybe even you see this data factory related settings, the Apache Airflow runtime settings, and data engineering related settings, that is for the data transformation using Spark. Even that I can manage using these Spark settings here. So I can increase the nodes, blah blah. So all the settings are very much possible using these workspace settings, and these settings will be applicable for all the items within that particular workspace. Let's go back to OneNote. And finally, like or how to discover the data in, there is something called one lake data hub. Okay, so using this one lake data hub, right, we can discover the data throughout the organization. So Fabric uses the one lake, as I said, so that means whole organization data is inside the one lake only. So you can discover your whole data from the one lake itself. So how to discover it? So there is something called one lake data hub, you see here. So when you go to that one lake data hub menu, it will show you whole organization data, and you can browse through from there and search or discover your data. And when you are searching the data, right, there are various ways to do that. Okay, so if you see here, right, so when you navigate to the one lake data hub here, firstly, if your organization has a various domains, select the domain in which your data will be, and then maybe you can hit this explorer here and start searching for your data. Or you can use this filter also here, which you see here, right. So this filter option help you to filter the search based upon a workspace, based upon a domain. And if you have marked anything favorites and something is endorsed for you in your organization, so you can click that and you can research that data or find that data. Okay, so finding the data is very easy in the Fabric. You have a exclusive suite called One Lake Data Hub. You can go there and search or find your data entire organization level very easily. Okay, so next is creating items in a Fabric. As I said, right, when you go to the workspace, you need to hit this new item to create any new item from any service or any workload within the Fabric. So we are not going to create anything now. We will create from our next video. So this video purpose is to get a high level idea and whole things. Okay, so that's it in this video. I hope you understand what is Fabric means. To summarize, Fabric is a end-to-end analytics platform where data engineers or data professionals and business, everyone can come together and collaborate and implement the data solutions. And Fabric has a various workloads in it. It's like a data integration workload, data engineering workload, reporting workload, which is business insights. So various workloads put together, it's a one single SaaS product. And inside the Fabric, you have to create a something called workspace. Inside the workspace, you create the Fabric items. Using that items, you will actually implement your data engineering solutions or the data scientist solutions, right? And this Fabric will not be available defaultly for your whole organization. Either Power BI admin, Power Platform admin, or M365 admin, these guys has to go to the Power BI website and go to the settings and admin portal from there and enable the Fabric for your organization. After enable the Fabric, then only people can start using it. When they start using it, they have to create a workspace as a first step, and they have to create items in it and start implementing their data solutions. So from our next video, we will discuss deeply with a practical approach to the concept by concept of the fabrics. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day.